Hi everyone, today we'll be starting on our back, so lay flat on your mat and just take a few deep breaths in here, in through your nose and out through your mouth. You may want to place one hand over your abdomen and the other over your chest. Take a few more breaths here and just center yourself in this moment. Connect with your breath, forget about everything that's going on, and focus on the next 10 minutes together. We're going to prepare for our roll up, so extending your arms up over your head. You can now flex your feet, take a small inhale in, and then exhale to peel your back up off the mat and extend and reach towards your feet. Small inhale here before we exhale again to roll back down, and when we roll down, we want to imagine we're putting our spine back onto the mat, vertebra by vertebra. This is a tough one for the core and you want to keep your legs straight. You also want to use that breath, so inhale to prepare and exhale to bring yourself up off that mat and reach towards the toes. At the top, keep your belly button heading towards the spine so that you can keep that C curve in your spine. You don't want to fold flat, we want to keep a nice curve in that back. Again, preparing, we want to make sure we're not using momentum and that we're keeping our legs straight and going at a steady speed throughout the movement. Extend your fingers out as far as you can whilst making sure you keep that belly button in towards the spine, and we reverse peel ourselves back onto the mat. We have 2 more here. Make sure you don't rush. Take your time and move with your breath. This is a really nice exercise for spinal mobility. Try and keep those legs straight and don't lift your knees up off the mat. Also, try and keep your shoulders away from your ears so that you don't build any tension in the upper body. We have 1 more here. Inhale. Exhale out, roll yourself up off the mat, vertebra by vertebra, and reach forward, keeping a nice C curve in that spine. Release, exhale to slowly go back onto the mat, vertebra by vertebra. And that's the last one. Take a few breaths here to recover. Bring your arms down to your sides. And we're now going to get ready for this roll-up series. The first exercise, which you'll be very well aware of now, is the hundreds. Bringing your feet and your heels towards your glutes, roll up through that upper back. Bring your gaze towards your thighs, and we can start pulsing in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, keep that chin off the chest and keep your gaze between your thighs. Keep going. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to add a modification here now by doing a march with the legs. So we're going to raise up our right leg into tabletop whilst we're continuing with the arm movements and the breathing, and lower that leg down. Bring the left leg up and lower that leg down. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue with the leg movements and keep alternating your legs. If it is available to you, you can bring both legs up into tabletop for the last few. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. And lower your feet down to the mat. Well done. Take a well-deserved stretch, bringing your knees to your chest, and just roll side to side and massage that thoracic spine. As I mentioned, today is a roll-up series, so we'll be starting each move in a similar position. With your hands behind your head, raise your head and shoulders off the mat and look between the thighs. What we want to do is bring one leg into tabletop and extend the opposite leg. We're going to alternate this movement. Exhale to extend the leg, bring it back into tabletop. Exhale to extend the opposite leg. Inhale to bring the leg back. Exhale to extend. Keep on going like this, and remember to keep your chin off your chest and keep that gaze between the thighs. Exhaling to extend, reaching as far as you can with your toes. Inhale to bring the leg back into tabletop. Keep that spine in neutral, don't overarch in the lower back. We only have one more here. Inhale and lower your legs down to the mat, and you can also lower your head. We only have a very short break here as we're going to get straight back into the roll-up position, and we're going to go into toe taps. With our legs in tabletop, we're going to tap down towards the mat with alternate legs, keeping that gaze between the thighs, exhaling to lower the foot slowly down, inhaling to bring it back to center. It's important not to rush through this movement. Take your time and make sure that you don't arch into that lower back. We just have a couple more here, we're almost done. And lower your feet down to the mat. Lower your head and take a nice stretch, bringing your knees up to your chest. We have a very spicy exercise next. We shall be doing the crisscross. Bringing your arms behind your head, bring your leg into tabletop, extend and bring the opposite elbow to the opposite knee. It's important here that you bring the elbow to the knee and not the knee to the elbow. We want to get as much of a stretch through that abdomen as possible, so really reach over as far as you can with your elbow. Visualizations help me a lot in Pilates, so imagine your waist is a wet cloth and we're wringing it dry, so you're really twisting as much as you can. We're going to hold here and raise and lower the straight leg, so keep that twist in the body and just raise and lower the extended leg. That's 2, 3. Keep breathing as you're doing this. Resist the temptation to hold your breath. Yes, it will be burning. Excellent. Now we're going to swap over and do the opposite side. 1. Make sure you keep that twist in your upper body. You don't want to fall back into neutral. Raise and lower that straight leg and keep the opposite knee still. We're nearly done. We're going to go straight back into the crisscross. Now this is going to feel a lot harder than it did before our pulses, and that's the whole point. I find that by going back to full range of motion after pulses, you get an additional burn and actually quick results in my opinion. So keep going. Resist the temptation to lose your form. Don't bring your knee to your elbow, bring your elbow to your knee. Nearly there. And lower your feet down to the mat, lower your head and take a nice stretch. Just take a moment to catch your breath. A few deep breaths in, realign and recenter yourself. We're now going to prepare for our single leg stretch. We're going to roll up, again bringing our head and shoulders off the mat. And we're going to bring our knees into tabletop and bring one knee towards the chest with a double pull and extend the opposite leg. We want to keep ourselves centered in the midline and just gently bring that knee in towards our chest whilst exhaling to extend the lower leg down. This is essentially a modification of the exercise we did earlier, with a slightly wider range of motion. Just a couple more here, nearly done. Last one. And bring your knees to center, lower your feet down to the mat, and rest your head back down to the mat. After taking a few breaths in here, you can sit yourself up, and we're just going to get ourselves back into a 4-point meal. And I like to just move in a circular motion through that spine just to release any tension that may have formed. And then we're going to lay down on our front and get into a cobra stretch. So pressing up with your hands, gaze up to the ceiling, and just really feel that stretch across your rectus abdominis. You've worked really hard on the core today. A few breaths here, and then with your knees wide, sit back into your child's pose, stretching your hands as far forward as you can whilst trying to push your bum towards your heels. Spend a few moments here. Remember not to hold your breath. And then we're going to, on our knees, clasp our hands behind our back and again reach up towards the sky and feel that stretch across your chest. It's also a nice one for the wrists. And you're done. Well done. Thank you for joining me. Bye.